WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com's Facebook and WTIM TV YouTube, brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. And People's Bank and Trust, they put people first. I have a treat for you in studio. Kincaid-South Fork Superintendent Chris Clark here on the WTIM Morning Show. That was a flub on my part, but we have Chris Clark here in studio, and he brought a very special guest, high school football coach for South Fork, Buddy Brown. It's a pleasure to have you in here in studio, Coach Brown.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
And also, welcome back to Superintendent
Thanks.
Clark.
I'm just sitting over here going to watch the special conversation happen. It sounds like I'll step out of the way.
Well, real quick here, something that maybe some people don't know is that you guys, have a good football program, and it's been building up, but that it's not a normal football program in the sense that you're 8-man. It's not part of the IHSA. Tell me, what are some of the main differences between 8-man and 11-man football?
8-man, basically, you have to have 5 men on the line of scrimmage instead of 7. You can also be any number. Linemen don't have to be specific numbers. You can also play center one play and then be the quarterback the next. Mm-hmm. So other than that, it's still football. Block and tackle, same thing.
Right. And, I don't know if anybody out there has actually watched an 8-man football game. I'm sure you have or maybe you have an idea of it, but football is exciting as is, right? But take 3 guys off the field and there's going to be some more broken tackles and a lot more big plays.
Yes. An 11-man, if you contain the corner and you force them back in, you have a lot more help. Mm-hmm. 8-man, you are a lot of times on an island, you are one-on-one, and you better not miss that tackle. Yeah. So it's exciting. It's a little bit faster. So
yeah. And oftentimes you were kind of mentioning to me too, with 8-man, because you have 3 less guys out on the field, you kind of have to pick and choose what you're willing to give up, as opposed to 11-man. You have those 3 guys, they can cover anything, and there's less room for error per se.
Yes, you have to pick and choose. Basically, as a D coordinator, I try to take away what the team does best, take away your number 1, number 2 guy, and then, make you beat me with someone else.
How long have you been coaching?
I've been at South Fork 11 years now.
Fantastic. And did you have any coaching experience prior?
No, I retired from the military after 25 years and into volunteering for a couple of years. And then I became D coordinator for 4 years. Now this 5th year as head coach.
How did that opportunity come around? You retired from the military and then you're a coach. So how did that kind of transition take place?
I thought I wanted some time off after I retired, and then I got bored really quick, and just the opportunity arose to volunteer to help out, and it just snowballed from there.
Now you have a pretty big announcement too. This is the first time in quite some time that that South Fork has been in the playoffs, right? I understand 26 years?
28 years, actually.
28 years.
Yes, since 94. We've been close. We've had, in the last 12 years, we've had 4 winning seasons, but we just didn't quite get over the hump, and this year we did. So
yeah. What does it mean to you? You've been working for 11 years now, and you finally kind of crack that egg, if you will.
It feels good. It does. I'm just happy for the kids in the community and the schools, since we co-op with Morrisonville and Edinburgh also. So, I'm just really happy for the kids, all the hard work that they've put in and the adversity that, we face.
Superintendent Clark here. Has South Fork always been an 8-man school?
No. What was it? 3-4 years ago?
4
years ago when we moved to 8-man, just numbers were kind of down. Mm-hmm. Looking at where we wanted to be. Football's been a tradition around South Fork area for quite a while, although it's been 28 years since the playoffs. But again, it's a sport where kids learn a lot of stuff about life outside of the classroom. It's something that we wanted to make sure we offered our kids. 8-man was a very sensible way to go with it. So glad we made that move. And like I said, we've just seen the program build and get stronger and stronger. I think this is the biggest amount of kids we've had out in quite a while, even when we were back 11-man. So kids are participating. Obviously, winning helps that as well. So hopefully we can keep building those populations and growing and getting bigger. But, it's very important for South Fork that we offered the sport.
So the way I understand it, then, this is the first time 8-man football has made the playoffs for Kincaid-South Fork.
Yes, amen,
Wow.
for sure.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, we've been playoff eligible even in IHSA 11 man a few times with him on the coaching staff, even a few times before that. Had playoff points kind of got us a couple times, but this is the first time we're playing past week 9 in 28 years, like we said. So it's awesome feeling for the kids, awesome for the community. I wasn't there, but I think they said they had a parade in on last Friday night, to celebrate the 5-4 season and knowing that they were making the playoffs. Where I think it was about 11 o'clock at night.
11:30.
11:30.
I was
and
surprised as many people showed up.
Stadium was packed, lights are on, so it's good for the community to see that, and great for the kids. I mean, they, like he said, they worked their tails off. I know they made a commitment this summer to the weight room to do things, and it's good whenever the work you put in is displayed in your final results.
How close were you a couple of times there, Coach Brown? In that 11 years leading up to the playoffs, you seem like you've had a close miss or two.
We did. We were 5-4 a couple of years. We missed it by 1 point, and then the COVID year when we played spring ball, we were 5-1. We only got to play 6 games. So if we would have played a full season and had playoffs, I'm pretty sure we would have made it that season.
Right. They had kind of like a culminating event in a way that wasn't really an official playoff.
Yep.
And in a way, yeah, that must that must have been kind of a signal for you though at the time for things to come in the future, right? I would imagine so anyway.
It was. We saw what we had coming up through the JFL program, and we had to start a lot of kids that were younger. So as soon as they got the experience, we knew that in a couple of years we would be right there.
Yeah. How's the JFL program numbers look right now?
The smaller kids, it looks pretty good. We have good numbers. The heavyweights right now it's kind of concerning, but hopefully we can get out there and we get those up.
Yeah. And I know with football numbers, they're kind of ebb and flow, depending on the year, depending on the kids. And, I guess I'm wondering too, where you see those participation numbers going in the future, say, I don't know, 3 years down the road or 5 years down the road. We hope that they continue to grow, but what do you think?
We hope that they grow, especially with more exposure and having a successful program. Obviously it gets kids excited. We have kids that walk the hallways. We just need to get more of them out for the program. So
right. And I guess what would you say to kids, high school or otherwise, that have thought about football, but for whatever reason just haven't quite made that jump?
I say don't hesitate. Once the high school year's over, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
I've had several players over the year that just play their senior year, and they all say the same thing. They all say I should have played all 4 years. Mm-hmm. So I say if you have any interest at all, go for it.
And I'll jump in a little bit with that too. Just football is such a unique situation. People that play it understand it. People that went through the stuff understand the bonds you build, the lessons you learn, where you build with counting on so many other people for success, where it's not just you. You can do a lot, but you need the other 7 men to be successful. I mean, it's just such a sport that breeds so many good qualities that if you can make it through some of those hard, adverse things, you learn to come out on the other end a lot better. And football is the best way to teach those life lessons outside the classroom.
Coach, obviously the direction of the football program looking pretty good. How would you characterize the direction you're heading?
It's trending up. I just hope we continue to keep going in a positive direction.
Yeah. And real quick here, it's just kind of a one-off question. What is the association that handles 8-man football?
It's called I8FA.
Okay.
Actually, next season in 2023, IHSA is going to take over 8-man.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about that and all the other things going on for Kincaid-South Fork and the football program. That's high school football coach Buddy Brown, along with Superintendent Chris Clark here on the WTIM Morning Show. More from them after this short time out here on WTIM, your information station.
WTIM. The markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn steady, beans higher, wheat slightly higher at this hour. December corn 6.86 1/4 unchanged. March corn down half a penny, 6.91 3/4. May corn 6.91 1/4 down 3/4. November beans 13.91 1/2 up 9 1/2. January beans up 10 1/4. 14.02 1/2. March beans 14.10 1/2 up 9 1/2. December wheat 8.38 up 3 1/4. March wheat up 2 3/4. 8.57. December bean meal down $5, 4.1060. December bean oil 73.23 up 95 cents. In the livestock market, October feeders 176.50 down a dime. October live cattle 150.105 down 62 cents. December lean hogs 88.35 down a dime. In the energy market at this hour, December crude oil futures 86.68. That's up $1.36. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Proven banking solutions are a must for today's business owner. Hi, I'm Joe Wills with People's Bank of Trust. If your company needs products like online bill pay, remote deposit, and payroll direct deposit, or better checking and savings account options, then we need to talk. I can customize your business banking and lending plans to fit your company's needs. Call 888-PBT-1954 or visit bankpbt.com today. We want to be your business banking partner. People's Bank of Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I'm Jody Badman, your Republican candidate for Christian County Clerk. As a lifelong citizen of Christian County, I believe the services that the County Clerk's office provides to you, the residents, can be improved. If elected, I'll make sure all inquiries get prompt attention and answered in a timely manner. I'll integrate technology to make daily transactions transparent to deter fraud, and I'll serve my full term if elected. I am Jody Badman, and I'd appreciate your vote on or before November 8th. It's time for a change.
Paid for by friends of Jody Badman.
I'm Police Chief Andrew Pistorius with the Sullivan Police Department, here to talk about a topic no one wants to discuss, depression that many times leads to suicide. When a person is going through such feelings, many times family and friends don't know how to help. But there is help. If you feel depressed or lonely, there are many resources to help you. Call a trusted relative, friend, or minister, or call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline toll-free at 800-273-TALK. That's 800-273-TALK. All of us are here to help.
Stay tuned at the end of every Tornado Sports broadcast on WTIM's many platforms on AM, FM, and streamed online when our announcers select the WTIM Brandon Bible Country Financial Tornado Player of the Game from that particular game. The player will be spotlighted for their great play in that game and also given a certificate honoring their accomplishment. Brandon Bible, your local country financial representative at 1305 West Spresser in Taylorville, is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the WTIM Tornado Player of the Game this school year and wishes all the teams much success this school year. Go Tornadoes!
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I have South Fork High School football coach Buddy Brown in studio, along with Kincaid-South Fork Superintendent Chris Clark. And we're talking about the high school football program, which is in the playoffs for the first time in 28 years. The first time as an 8-man program, and Coach Brown has been there throughout the entire guidance of the transition from 11-man to 8-man. And also, that kind of brings up a good point that we talked a little bit about going into break, that there's a different entity that oversees the 8-man football in Illinois as of right now. And soon that could change here pretty soon. So if you would, Coach Brown, provide me a little bit of an overview of how it is now and how it could change next year.
Right now, we are governed by I8FA, Illinois 8-Man Football Association, and they actually do a pretty good job. But IHSA is going to take over in the 2023 season. We've actually had meetings with Sam Knox from IHSA, and they actually like a lot of things that we're doing with our association, and they plan on keeping a lot of stuff that we've already implemented. So, but it's supposed to grow. We're supposed to have 20 to 25 more teams added next season.
What do you think is the advantage of having the IHSA oversee the 8-man football as opposed to how the system you have now?
And I mean, I'll talk to that a little bit because I've been involved on the principal side, which that's IHSA. That's who governs IHSA, is the high school principals. Just that governing body. You see, like, they work legislation. They have procedures in place for such things as like they have head injury, big legislation that went through. They're on top of all that stuff. Where an association, they try to use all that stuff, and I'm sure they use a lot of IHSA's things, but just having that overall governing body that deals with the state of Illinois for every other sport at the high school level, with as far as like coaching requirements, as far as like kit requirements and everything else is just a huge step for them. That it's just such a bigger body that deals with that and has dealt with that ever since high school sports have been in play.
I suppose that sounds like a really big advantage, but are there any disadvantages to not being part of the ID or I8FA anymore?
Well, again, with bigger entities, you put yourself at the rules and regulations of them. Obviously, principals are your association members, so they vote on all the stuff. So, again, some changes that you might not like. That with the association, you had a smaller group that knew each other, did some stuff, but that's some of the part of losing some of that for sure.
Yeah. Obviously, there's some pros and cons to it, but seems like the pros would outweigh the cons,
For
as you
sure.
mentioned, with how big of an association IHSA is and the legislative capability and all that other stuff. Of note, are there any major changes that they'll make to 8-man football next year, or not? It's pretty similar.
As of right now, no. The last meeting that I attended when Knox was there, he said that they have a few ideas, but they weren't going to even bring them up or try to implement through the I8FA until they actually took over.
Okay. So nothing really to worry about here. Real quick, let's dive into your football matchup this weekend. Friday night, I understand, or
Yes.
is it Saturday?
Friday at 7. Yep.
Okay. Who are you taking on?
We're playing Ridgewood. They have a co-op, Cambridge and Atwood, right?
Yes.
Yes, Atwood.
Okay.
So go against a guy named Coach Elder. They run a wing tee offense. They're pretty disciplined. They run pretty well. So
Run heavy, option
yes,
ball.
run heavy, most definitely.
Right. Well, what do you think of your chances?
Right now, we got a pretty good game plan. I got a couple of different options for defense and a couple of different adjustments if I need to go to them. We play a clean game and mistake-free. I think we can be right in it.
What can you say about the team itself? I understand you're kind of young on the younger end. How has it performed overall for you from a coach's standpoint?
Well, especially on offense, we don't have that one guy. We did have the one guy in week 4. He broke his collarbone. And he was a senior. So after that, people picked it up. We had, pretty much running back by committee. We got 3 or 4 different guys that, they're capable of doing the job. It's just that we don't have that one guy. And then on defense, we actually started 4 freshmen last week. So we do have a good freshman class coming up. So when they get their experience, by the time they're juniors and seniors, we should be pretty good.
Anything else you want to say about your matchup coming up this Friday for the first time in 28 years as South Fork football returns to the playoffs?
Just excited. Like I said before, I'm happy for the kids. I'm happy for the community and the high schools itself. I think we're ready to go. Our mental state, we're there. I think we're prepared. So we just got to get after it and get going.
And the direction of the program as a whole seems like it's heading in the right direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, again, that goes to credit to Coach Brown and the rest of his coaching staff. I know he's brought some people on, and wins and losses are one thing about a program heading in the right direction, but mentoring the kids and doing what's best for kids. And I see that when I'm on the field watching them practice games, that they're doing stuff for what's best for kids. Wins will take care of themselves, but as long as the coaches are doing what's great for kids.
Superintendent Chris Clark of the Kincaid-South Fork School District, along with high school football coach Buddy Brown. Good luck this weekend, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much, Chris Clark.
Thank you.
Now, Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241.